Welcome back to Lawn Dude Unearthed. Today's special shout out for today's very special video goes out to everyone who has supported us over the years. I'm gonna have to say, me personally, I would love to shout out my wife, my kids, my whole entire family, my whole entire supporting cast of friends, clients, peers, employees over the years. Everyone has been a key part to where we are now. Thank you. Now, please enjoy the listen. Now, let's cue the intro. Welcome back to Lawn Dude Unearthed. Not sure how the sound quality is going to be today. Real time at my son's baseball practice. So I'm out here in between in between the baseball field and the basketball courts. So you hear a little background. That's what it is. Now I'm not even gonna lie to you. I really debated long and hard if I was gonna do a podcast today on this topic. But you know what? Although I feel like I'm not where I would like us to be, this is still a milestone. Now today, real time. Now this video will go up after, no matter what video. Look at me, can't even speak, man. It's so humid here in Northern Virginia at this point in time that I'm a little fried right now. But this podcast will go up after, no matter what, it will go up afterwards of this date I'm about to sit here and name. June 4th, 2015 is the first day Lawn Dude became a full-time company after years of doing it as the weekend warrior. So, June 4th, today as I'm recording, 2024, marks 9 years. How do I feel about this, man? 9 years. No matter how I sit here and try to say I'm not where I would like to be, I am truly blessed. I'm sitting here looking through pictures of where we started, of the humble beginnings, man. We had some real humble beginnings, man. And what I could say is we took that leap of faith. No matter how tired people get of hearing that phrase, it is so true. The decision to go full time with the business came with initial challenges and doubts. But the role of faith in making the leap, the role of faith in God in taking the leap was, and to this day is, key to how we were finally able to do this. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I say it was a leap of faith for the simple fact that as we started the business, It was my wife and I and our two kids. Our daughter was just born the year before. And I know people, I know they all depended on me. And I feel like the reason why it took me so long to finally take the leap was, to be completely honest with you, I had to wait for God to tell me the time was right. Because the last thing I want to do is fail my family. I want to be able to provide for them. 9 years later, I can say I've been blessed to be able to do that, and God has always made a way. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it was all sunshine and rainbows, man. It's 9 years strong. Reason why I say celebrating the milestone, reason why I say 9 years strong, is for the simple fact that there were so many doggone challenges, man. So many challenges, so many ups, so many downs. I reflect on all the times, man. I reflect on all these times. I remember starting out, we had a Ram 2500 and a Ford F-150. Well, if I really want to go back, when I was a weekend warrior, I always believed in backups. I started out with a 92 F-150 inline six, two-wheel drive, long cab, single cab, or long bed, single cab that didn't have much power. And I also had a 95 F-150 with the 5.0 in it. Pretty sure the transmission was going to go in that at some point, but it worked for us, man. That's what we use as Weekend Warrior. Then when I decided I wanted a stronger truck, we went out and got the Ram 2500 off of, at the time, a co-worker. Which, oh, by the way, because they used that truck for snow, any problem you could think of with that truck, we had. I remember wrenching on that truck. I remember leaking brake fluid and having a trailer full of equipment and having to make an emergency stop into a turn of the neighborhood where my client was at and having to get it towed from the site. I remember many times of having trucks over the years towed. I remember staying up late at night, the wee hours of the morning, I'm sorry, at nighttime, laying on the ground, working on machinery and equipment, trying to get it ready. I remember when we first got our F450. I want to say this was still within the first year being full time. I remember how happy we were to get that truck with the 7.3 diesel in it, with the plow on it, because we knew, and it had a dump bed. We knew that this was going to be key for us to expand. With that dump bed, we can do landscape work. We could do leaf removal. We could do so much. With that diesel engine and that plow, we can get in the snow. And guess what? With that, that's exactly what we did. We were able to expand. Then I also remember us finally being able to upgrade to a nicer truck. Nicer truck for me was an '05 that did us right. Oh my goodness, man. I still remember the day. The day got the 2019 Ram 2500, and how happy we were to know where we came from to earn that truck. Now, while I did go out and get a solid commercial mower before, or a new commercial mower before going full time, after we became full time, we had a long stint of buying used mowers, used equipment. I'm a small engine mechanic, so I was able to wrench on everything. And once we got into the commercial world, once we got our name up, we were blessed to be able to go out here and get new equipment that's reliable, new trailers that's reliable. And I just mentioned the 2019. I still remember when we upgraded 2019 for the 2022 that we have now. The 2022 that I'm sitting in right now. That is actually the truck that we need. I remember first getting the box truck. We've done so much over the years. Now, within 9 years, I figured out how to manage my schedule to where I am around for my wife and kids more. At first, that balance seemed almost impossible. It was more impossible when I was working for a company. Sun up to sun down. Those are days I try not to remember. Then every single Saturday out mowing, we would knock out 30 lawns every Saturday, which would just leave Sunday to hang out with the family. Since going full time and actually figuring out how to get the schedule going, I can say I'm available pretty much every weekend for my family. I'm available almost every evening for my family. I'm just available. And I thank God. I thank God for the relationships that we've built. Some of them I built before even going full time, but over the course of being full time, you know, we've continued relationships with vendors such as Casey Landscape Supply, Mark at Kohler Equipment. I got to shout y'all out, man, because you guys are key into this company as much as everyone else. And I'm thank God that we still have these relationships to this date. To this date. I gotta shout out previous employees who helped us to get to this point. I don't have any ill will with any previous employee, and I feel like everyone left out on top. No one just outright, had an issue with me or I had an issue with them. They just moved on to bigger and better things, and I'm glad to see that. And once again, I thank God for everyone who's been part of this team. My wife has been here from day one. She has helped me in so many capacities, whether it's, dealing with, helping me with clients or dealing with accounts receivables or running somewhere for me or just, oh my gosh. The list of things that woman has done for me, I can't even sit here and to begin to tell you. I love that woman to death. And if I actually sit here and talk about all the things she's done, it'd be a whole nother podcast, y'all. Just know my wife is a key part of where we are today. Clients. We've had some great clients. We've had some clients that weren't so great. You know what? Those I would like to call customers. But we've had clients and have clients who thank God for those relationships right there. I thank God for those relationships right there. Now, those who know, we start out doing our customers and customers for another lawn company. We were as subcontractors for them. I'm actually glad that didn't work out because it's for the best. It's for the best. I got my schedule back and I have a better quality of life without doing the subcontractor work for that company. So it is crazy to look now where we are. Currently, I am solo, but I also currently have all the equipment that I once dreamed of having. Currently, am blessed with trucks that I can actually go the distance with. Most importantly, we have really stayed strong with our faith in God to get this far and to help a balance. Now, as I sit here watching my sons practice, I do say I am looking forward to the future of Londu because we are not done. We have goals, we have plans, and I want everyone to hold me accountable to them, which is why I'm about to go ahead and list them. One of my goals I've been pretty steady on, I'm trying to get the company as close to debt free as possible. I expect the company to have some type of debt down the road, but I want to cut down and trim down the debt to get close to debt free. I would like to get 2 guys in here down the road to take over the whole entire mowing operations to free me up to do many other jobs. I'm really trying to venture into more lawn applications, more mini skid steer work, more wide open mowing, which I will spearhead those as I have others taking care of the maintenance route. And then after I get those to a certain point, I would love to be able to hire someone to take on that to where this is a business and not a job. I really would love to get this to where these guys are excited out here on this baseball field, if you guys can hear that. But I really would love to get this to where this is in a much better space and it can run without me to where I can go on vacation for a couple weeks and the business still makes money, business still thrives, business still produces. I would like to have an impact in this community. In my son's league, we have donated our services to mow one of the fields. That is a minor part as to all the things I would like to do down the road here. I would like Lawn Dude to be known as that community company that looks out for their community. Don't know if you guys can hear this train in the background. We're off by train tracks. Now, as I look back on our 9 years, I would love to provide some insight and some advice to all those who are out there trying to grow a business, start a business, or been in business for a while. Stay strong and keep your head up. You'll go through tough storms. I still remember the day the IRS audited us and we owed $20,000. I was about ready to quit that day. I was about ready to just say, let me go work a 9 to 5. There are times when there haven't been much income in the bank. And I've said, you know what? I'll do it better if I just left this and worked a 9 to 5. That same 9 to 5 I used to work that kept me busy from sun up to sundown because I do everything to the fullest. And that quality of life is not the quality of life I would like. No matter how tiring this business gets, you stay strong. So I must say, and I actually got this advice from Brian Ring. Ring-a-ding! Grinding! When I was having a tough time, I remember watching one of his YouTube videos and he talked about when he almost quit. I messaged him that same day and said, what kept you going? And why did you almost quit? He said mismanaging commercial accounts and What kept him from quitting was being told to give his business a few years, that 3 to 5 year range, before you make any decisions to see where your business can go. If it's not doing nothing at that point, then you make a decision. So I did the 3 to 5 year point, and we've grown each and every year. So while we're not where I would like to be yet, because I know we're just getting started and we can be so much better, this company has done nothing but improve. Nothing but improve. So I do want to celebrate those behind the Lawn Dude family over the years, and I'm going to try my hardest to do this in order. Those who have been part of the team and have worked for the team, which for me is anybody who's lasted longer than, a minute is who I'm going to list. First and foremost, I have to list my wife because she's been there every step of the way and still is to this day. I have to shout out my man Dom, who was my right hand man for a few years. He was even the supervisor for a few years. First critical part of the team after my wife was him. Then I gotta shout out Tezzy. After Tezzy, I have to shout out my man Hev, who went from a guy who didn't have too much experience to one of the best employees at Lawn Dude to date. This is the only one who could keep up with me, who visualized patterns like me, and could stripe the crap out of a yard, edge the crap out of a yard, do everything just as well as me. I don't have any doubt in my mind that keep going the way you go. Who knows? Maybe down the road you're back here. I don't see any reason why you won't be better than me at many of these things, because at the end of the day, I want to train you up to be better than me. I want to train anyone up to be better than me. After Hev, I got to shout out Tevin for the time period that you were with me. I got to shout out Yonky for the time that you were here with me. Got to shout y'all out because without the parts that you and roles that you guys played, I don't know exactly where we would be. I'm sure we would still be here, but God put everyone in my life for a reason, and I just want to especially shout out those who worked here for a season at least. And I have to shout out probably, I'll have to say MVP, man. And the only reason why I'm saying MVP, this is my man Phil. I have to shout him out for the simple fact that this is a guy who never really worked full time for us. He has a full time job. He has a career. And there are many times when I was solo in the past just because I couldn't get anybody to help me. And this man would come off work, his full time job, and then go out in the field with me. Or if he was on vacation or off. This is something that Dom has done as well. These brothers would, man, I really gotta sit here and shout people out while I can, man. So when it comes to field work, Dom, Phil, and have always came out for their call to action. But I especially have to shout out Phil in this moment because there's so many times you came out just to help me out, just because you knew I was trying my best to do it all by myself. And for each of these brothers, I could say we formed a brotherhood that stays strong to this day. So I wanted to celebrate all these people who were key parts to this company. Now, I would like to sit here and once again shout out my family, my wife, and my kids who motivate me to keep going strong each and every day, man. I've had those days that were so tough, so tough. I just wanted to throw in the towel. And then they would just motivate me to keep going strong, man. To this day, they motivate me to keep going strong. I also want to shout out my parents, my sisters, both my, well, not both, my biological and my in-laws, my sister-in-laws, my brothers from another mother, all my peers, my great friends over the years. I have to shout all y'all out once again. And I have to say, Lawn Dude is definitely here to stay. And hey, next year marks 10 years. What we gonna do for 10? I tell you what, I better not be in the same spot. I'm gonna listen to this next year to make sure that I've elevated, because if I'm not elevating every year, I'm doing something wrong. That's my time before y'all. I know it's long-winded, and it could be more long-winded because I have so much more I can get into on this subject. Once again, thank you, everyone. Thank you for all those who support everything that we do with social media, especially this podcast. Y'all be blessed. Peace. Thank you for listening to Lawn Dude Unearthed, where we dive into deep topics, discussing not only the highlight reels, but we talk about the lowlight reels, the struggles, the successes. Anything we want to talk about for today, we will cover on this podcast. Once again, I appreciate you for listening to this. If you can, please give us a 5-star review. We are currently on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, and still working on a few more. Thanks again for listening to us. Y'all be blessed. Peace.